Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And to the surprise of no one, Rise of the Resistance opened on the West Coast yesterday and broke down almost immediately.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, this attraction just keeps having issues, and I'm sure they were able to, trial and error, they were able to learn some things from Disney World that they applied to Disneyland, but even then, there's still other issues because there's so many moving parts on this attraction. It's so advanced. It's gonna break.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about that, and people are like, "Oh my God, why are you complaining about? Of course it broke down." I'm like, yeah,
but we're supposed to lie about it. I don't understand.
you're supposed to say it's magical. Yeah.
We've said in pretty much every video, well, this is expected. It's a new attraction for one, and it has a lot of moving parts involved in it. So breakdowns, going to the B story or whatever they call that is expected, but it's happening an awful lot is the issue.
Yeah, and the deal, as we understand it from people from within Disney who have come to us behind the scenes, not going to give names, but they said that the Imagineers were pushing for more testing, and Disney executives refused to give them any more time to test the ride because they wanted to get the revenue on the books. They wanted people in the park. So what we're saying is this ride could have had fewer problems if they had listened to the Imagineers who built the ride and said, hey, it's not show ready. We still need another month or two to get the bugs worked out. But no, we had to get the revenue on the books. Get those people. That's the same reason they opened Galaxy's Edge when it was only half done.
Well, I know leading up to this too, they had issues with the cars and supposedly handicap access to the vehicles. With Americans with Disabilities, and the vehicles weren't wide enough.
Oh, for wheelchair access.
Yeah, and they had to have changed the vehicles and stuff. That was a rumor going around. I was in the vehicles. That's probably true. So they were harder to get in and out of a little bit. So they were going to have to make some changes to that. That was a rumor. That delayed. That was one of the reasons that there was issues. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's expected to do it, but the problem is it's happening so much that people aren't getting to ride it. It's already hard enough to get on the attraction to begin with. Yeah,
we're going to talk about that in some, even though people are very excited to ride it, some salt, because people are getting there, they can't get boarding passes, they're getting on the ride, and the ride is breaking down, and it is, again, kind of a double-edged sword for Disney. One, they can point to the crowds and be like, look at all the people, but then it's like, oh, look how many people are angry now because it didn't work.
And we'll explain how that works here in a minute.
Yeah, so before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. We're at about 90,000 subs, hoping for 100,000 soon. Thank you guys for the support. Now, I put a little story out on Pirates and Princesses yesterday about it. I'm actually going to go out to Mickey Blog. I think they cover Disney. I don't know. What do you think?
I would guess.
They actually found more tweets than I found, and they can sort of, we'll talk about like exactly what led to the debacle yesterday. A lot of news outlets, though, I wonder what's going on here, because when the ride broke down in Florida, everybody talked about it. The ride is having the same issues in California, and a lot of the media outlets aren't saying much of anything.
Yeah, because, do you want to keep your media access?
I'm wondering if Disney warned them ahead of time.
I'm just tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
And you're just saying the same thing, different day,
All right, so this is coming from Mickey Blog. It's opening day at Disneyland Park, and similar to what we saw on the East Coast, we have already seen the Rise of Resistance breakdown. Guests were lined up and ready. Some reportedly arrived as early as 3:50. I heard 2. I heard they started lining up at 2. Lots of people there. I'm like, doesn't anybody work? It was Friday.
They probably took the day off. I'm sure they did.
Took the day off to go. Wouldn't that suck even more?
I'm so sick.
Took one of my vacation days and the ride broke down. Say things were crowded, maybe a bit of an understatement. Yeah, I saw some of these videos. It was packed. Look, I'm not gonna say that the park wasn't packed. It was also packed.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
Oh dang.
And you gotta realize, like, this. Look, I'm gonna give an opinion as somebody who grew up going to Disneyland and not Disney World. I wish to God, for a number of reasons, they would have put it on the other side of the street, okay? Because Disneyland is busy enough. They don't need Star Wars there, too.
Well, they probably didn't. Do they have room over there?
At California Adventure, I don't think they have room.
That's the problem.
Because the streets are right. I mean, Disneyland is in the middle of Anaheim. It's in a city.
I mean, even for the new Marvel area they're putting in, they had to take out another area to put the Marvel area in.
Yeah, they took out Bug's Life.
Yeah, they didn't have room for it. They had to take something else out to put it in. So.
Yeah, but this is going to make Disneyland even more packed than it already is. And there were pictures of people hanging out Main Street waiting for the boarding passes.
Well, no, it's got to get busy because after Galaxy's Edge opened, it wasn't busy, which was a problem.
Because everybody avoided it. But, again, we have always said, and I want to be very, very clear, we have always said people were waiting for the second ride.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. They should have opened them together. Opening it without both attractions was one of the biggest part of the problem. And it was, clearly.
It actually backfired. It actually caused people to stay away when they were hoping they were going to get, record crowds on the books and whatever. So people were lined up really early to ride it. The boarding groups, we'll talk about that if you're not familiar with the attraction, these boarding groups. They're starting to get cold. It was a matter of just 2 hours before the dreaded Rise of the Resistance breakdown was announced. In fact, some media outlets, some Disney fan blogs in Florida were like, oh, we're doing a ride through, and the ride broke down when they were trying to do the ride
evacuated. Well, I know in Florida, it happens all the time that they'll be doing the boarding passes, and when it's supposed to start, it's delayed for 2 hours, or so till it even opens, because it's not ready to open. People are often, I've seen it I'm on lots of Disney message boards, incognito, but I'm there, and I'm often seeing people commenting about how they waited all day, they finally got their turn to go on, and it broke, or it's down, and now they don't know if they're going to get a turn, especially if a higher number boarding group. If they have to keep pushing people back, you might not get through. It's a weekly occurrence, if not almost daily occurrence, that there are issues. Now, like I said, understandably, stuff happens when it's a new attraction, but at this point, that shouldn't be happening all the time like it is.
And again, this goes back to what we've heard the Imagineers were like, we can work the bugs out, just give us a couple of more months. And they didn't do it. The
capacity must not be that great on these attractions because, they keep throwing shade at Hagrid's because it had a 4-hour wait, which it did because it had problems too. Now, thankfully, they've gotten a lot of that worked out. And
I heard they got a lot of it worked out.
And it's down to that's moving smoothly, which I'm sure this will happen in Rise of the Resistance eventually too. But they got it worked out. People wait in line 4 hours. You don't have to wait in line 4 hours for this, in actually standing in a line. But what happens is the boarding passes are gone so quickly that a lot of people don't even get a pass. And you might have gone the whole way to Disney to visit and have vacation just to ride this attraction, and you might not get to ride it the entire time. Do you want me to explain about that now or wait?
You can explain that now.
Okay, so how the boarding passes work is when you get to the park. People get there early, and then they're letting you in around at Disney World, for example, letting people in at 6:30, and they can start lining up inside Disney's Hollywood Studios. A lot of times they just head down to where Galaxy's Edge is. And what happens is as soon as the time comes that the park opens, I think it's 7 right now, on the My Disney Experience app, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing for Disneyland, it pops up the boarding passes are open. Then everybody's scrambling with all the thousands of people that got in are scrambling to get this boarding pass. But there's only so many boarding passes to go around. So what happens is a lot of people don't even get the boarding passes. It was gone in within 45 seconds at Disneyland or something like that, a couple minutes. Disney World, you might make 10 minutes before they're all gone. And you could still be there and have waited hours and not get a boarding pass. And then people, that's just the way it is. Now you're required to have your whole party there then. But what's happening is it's creating lines, really long lines for everything else, because if you have a one-day pass, you don't have a hopper pass, you're basically stuck there all day, whether or not you get the boarding pass. So now the lines for everything are extremely long at Disney World because everybody who can't go to another park is stuck there all day, pass or not. And when they have that limited on these passes, when it breaks down, it pushes people back. Now they have these basically these extra boarding groups you can get into. I guess it's on standby. They usually stay open for an extra hour, but oftentimes they don't even get to standby because something happens and it pushes people back. So you might have gone the whole way there for a boarding pass and not even got a chance to ride, which is what happened to a lot of people at Disneyland, because I don't think everybody was aware, even though Disney announced it, that they were going to have to do this boarding group thing.
Yeah, well, they did it with Smuggler's Run.
They did, so people should have been aware of it. But I think that's what happened. There was a lot of people didn't get in.
So everybody's sitting around. They didn't get in, right? So, of course, when the ride goes down, it pushes everything back.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was down for an hour. Some guests are feeling defeated. Tried to go and Rise of the Resistance twice today. It broke down twice. So it was more than once. Broke down twice each time when I was just about to get on the main ride. Mickey has it out for me. Rise of the Resistance is down again. Yep. Other guests have had an optimistic outlook, and we're hoping things work out for them. Not going to post any other Rise of the Resistance pictures. It actually broke down while we were on it, but we will get to the front of the line later today. Yeah, but it should...
There's a lot of people who are going to be now moved to the front of the line. And when that happens, everybody else's turn it was to come up or move back to the back of the line, you know, and it goes on and on.
We're in line and the ride broke down. We are moving. The door opened, and finally, after a long wait, that was freaking amazing. Well, yeah.
It is amazing after you get to ride it.
That's what I want to be clear. People are like, oh my God, you're like throwing shade at the most amazing ride ever. Yeah, if you get to ride it and it doesn't break down. You know, in fact,
and if all the parts are working and the queue's working, and you know, it's really awesome.
Yeah, so this is the problem though, and it is going to be a problem. I mean, personally, I'm going to tell you, if you don't get to go to the parks very often, or you know, I would wait like 6 months until they get all the bugs worked out, because I think you're, you know, if it's like a once in a 3-year or once in a 5-year trip for you, and you want to actually experience it, wait till they get the bugs worked out.
Well, yeah, and plus, you know, I don't know how long it's going to stay, like, where they're having to offer boarding passes, probably for a long time.
Yeah.
Because unlike Flight of Passage, where it moves people through very quickly, and there's still a line, you might wait 4 hours, but you're going to get through. This, you have a time to come back, but it still doesn't seem to be moving people through at a fast enough pace to accommodate a lot of people. I mean, it accommodates a lot of people, but it's just not accommodating as many people as possible. We're going to be going down, and we already told our kids it's possible we won't even get to ride it.
Yeah, we're
even though I earned the chance to ride it, which is a whole other story entirely.
Yeah.
I guess I don't flip my hair enough, but that we might get down there and not even get on it. And luckily, they want to ride it, but if that happens, there's enough other things they like to do that it's okay.
We are in the park so often that they know, like, if we don't do something this time, we'll get to do it next time,
which is probably in a month or two anyway.
So you know, yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I mean, here you can see that they said that after 45 seconds.
That's what I heard. It was like 45 seconds.
I heard 3 minutes from cast members. They said it was like 3 minutes.
So somewhere between 45 seconds and 3 minutes, it ran out of boarding groups.
Very, very short period of time. Now, some people are getting desperate, apparently. We can't verify this.
Yeah, so I said this to you today, WDW News Today. I always have trouble saying that. They actually said that people were making fake boarding passes to get on the attraction. So I guess what happened was a family put up a picture. I think that's the one they're showing. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming. Here, scroll down and see. But I think what happened was, they said 45 seconds again. And then they said the backup boarding groups was 11 minutes. Usually takes an hour and a half at Disney World. So people were mad and they just made their own. So a screenshot seen above of a valid boarding group return time with a barcode was seen circulating amongst guests, with some guests going as far as to copy the font used in the screen to fill in boarding group numbers and exact return times. The premise behind these forged boarding groups is that Disneyland is not consistently scanning the boarding group tickets, probably because they're trying people through as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And because of that, people are getting in line and that shouldn't be there and are, you know,
pushing everything back. Well, what happens if, you know, they used a barcode for somebody who legit had a boarding pass, and then it's like, hey, you were already on the ride.
Mm-hmm. And
you know, we were on the ride 25 times. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't check. But yeah, we see this happen with even fast passes.
Yeah.
At Disney parks, like we've seen it with like the Haunted Mansion. There was a storm, and because there was like a little bit of a storm, the cast member, because they're required to, had to step away from that entrance, and as a result, everybody was going through that entrance, whether they had a boarding pass or not. Now they're supposed to rescan you, the fast pass or not. They're supposed to rescan you when you get up to the door, but oftentimes they don't. Yeah. So people were just jumping the line and going right in, even though they didn't have a fast pass for the attraction. Normally, there's 2 points of contact that you have to prove that you have a fast pass. So if you somehow skip line in one place, you get caught the second place. But they're not scanning them as much as they should here because they're trying to get people through quickly. Because
yeah, and I can say it because they had a problem with Disney World. They were just like letting people in, weren't they?
Yeah, what happened was the turnstiles where you scan your band and do the fingerprint, touch it with your finger, and then they can read your ticket and you can go in. There was something down with the system, so I forget what day this was. It was
just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so everybody, what was going on was they couldn't get in. So as more people were coming off the monorail, coming off the ferry boats, coming off the buses, and the lines were getting longer and longer and longer, it became a safety hazard. So what they had to do was the management made a call, just let everybody through who was in line. So they didn't even scan your ticket to see if you had a ticket or your band to see if you had a ticket. They just let you in. And it went on for like a while until they finally got iPads in place. But it went on for quite a while. People just got in, ticket or otherwise.
So you could just be like, hey, you want to get into Disney World for free today? Just
it's like, call your friends. I know you don't have a hopper, but get over here. You can get the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And they could have. We don't know. I mean, I would think that when you went to go ride things, if you had fast passes, you might run into problems because your ticket wasn't scanned. But I don't know how they worked that out. But they let people in because they didn't have time. They couldn't scan them, and their crowd was too big. So they just opened the gates and said, "Here you go."
God, we get all kinds of people cut line. My favorite is the I've been separated from my party bathroom trick.
Yes. It's true sometimes.
It's true sometimes, but so when they first opened Pandora in Disney World, we were there within like a week of them opening it, and I remember there were some kids cutting line. And they knew the drill. It was like a teenage girl. She was probably about 13, 14, and then like 2 or 3 other kids. She's like, I'm with my party, excuse me, and kept cutting. And she never did find her party. They were supposedly on a bathroom break, and what they were doing is, and I know the trick, because I've heard on other Disney message boards that people do this. They're like, oh, I've been separated from my party, and they cut ahead. And most people are going to be like, oh, they're just kids. We don't want the kids.
Well, adults do it too.
Adults do it too.
We saw a guy and his kid. And the thing is, I mean, sometimes it's true. We don't want people peeing in line like that happened to that, that one girl got peed on in line at Flight of Passage. Cast members will let you out to go to the bathroom or whatever you have to. So I'm sure it was true, but it's in some cases. But I've seen it so often that I don't believe it's true. No. I've seen people go clear to the front of the line and get on an attraction, never joined a group. It's like really?
Yeah. There are message boards where people talk about some of these devious little tricks you can do, and but anyway, I would tell you again, if it's not an emergency to ride this ride, to wait a couple of months until they get the bugs worked out.
And then maybe they can get it's not so like Disney World, they have boarding passes still, but they don't go as fast as they were going before. So you might have a better chance of getting on if you wait a few months, and that's only about not even 2 months later. So
wait a couple of years, and they might even retheme it as original trilogy.
I doubt it.
I don't know. That'd be even more fun. I think it'd be more fun.
If I'm stuttering around, I'm sorry, guys. I was up all night. I have a little grievance I want to air about Disney. Can I air another
grievance?
Yeah, I'm a little mad. So they had this new collection coming out. It's a monthly collection, and there's a magic band right there, a picture of it, and there's a little picture of Minnie Mouse underneath it. Each month they're going to be doing a new collection of Minnie Mouse for a different theme park attraction. And I wanted some of the Space Mountain ones because we like Space Mountain. My daughter loves Space Mountain, and they look really cool. You don't really often find really, really cool Space Mountain stuff. So they said, okay, it's going to go up at midnight Pacific, which would be 3 a.m. our time. It went up exactly when it should in the UK, and at 8 a.m. for them, and everything else, no problem. And it didn't come up for the U.S. And it didn't come up for the U.S. And it didn't come up for the U.S. I waited all night, and finally at 10 a.m. it came up for the U.S. And I was able to get some of the things I wanted. I got the magic band, the mouse ears, a plush, and some pins. But they sold out. Some of the mouse ears and stuff, I guess, were gone. It's showing that they're still available, but you put it in your cart, you can't check out. They were gone within 8 minutes. Anyway, I'm mad because I'm like, if you're gonna do this, you should make sure you name a time, and then you should actually stick to the time. And they were actually being told by Disney employees that it was midnight Pacific, and then it turned around and did it 10 a.m. Eastern, which I have no problem with it being 10 a.m. Eastern. I'd much rather do it 10 a.m. Eastern than 3 a.m. But, there's some misinformation there. So, Disney, if you're listening to this, because we know you do, please fix that for next time. And you can have more of my money.
Why are you encouraging them?
Because it's cute.
It doesn't matter if it's
cute.
I'm
allowed to like that. I can be mad about things that they do over here, but I'm allowed to like these things. And I'm still mad about things they did with it, but I think they're adorable. Look at, they're just so cute. Look at this.
That's how they get you, though.
It's
That's
so
how
cute.
They get you.
My God.
I know, but they make cute stuff. You spend money and it keeps them in business.
This is March. I want this and this and this and this for March.
It's all girly.
And Pirates is February, and I want the ears and the mini and the pins. I'm not really liking the bag. Yeah, I just like the cute stuff. It's cute. I have a problem. See, look, that's my wrist. I have problems.
I don't have any Mickey jewelry.
Yeah, you got pins out the wazoo.
I do. I have like piles and piles of pins. But anyway, Disney, if you're gonna go, I would wait several months until they get this fixed.
Yeah. I mean, at least wait so that if they still are doing boarding passes, they stay open longer than 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I said, Disneyland is 45 seconds. Disney World is about 10 minutes. But you have to get there like really early. People are going at 4:30 in the morning to line up.
Why? It's not going anywhere.
I mean, technically, they said you can even get there later as long as you're in. You have to be inside the park, at park opening at 7 a.m. So you have to have your whole party with you inside the park so that they can see that you're in the park at 7 a.m. to get a boarding pass. Good news is, I believe through April, they're going to start extending the hours so that they're going to open at 7, but they're going to stay open till 10 at night so they can get more boarding groups through.
Yeah,
That's at Disney World. I don't know about Disneyland.
Look, well, I mean, I would say don't worry about it. It's going to be around for a while, but I'm like, the way things are going, it'll probably like spontaneously combust or something.
I don't think it's going to do that.
And that'll be, or
it's
like I said,
down a lot though.
Yeah, or because look, they have other attractions that have been down a lot, and they turn around, they just like gut them and turn it into something else.
That's true. I mean, so we'll see what happens, but it is a great ride if you can get on it. So we're gonna try to get on it.
We should live stream
at 4 a.m.
Yeah, like here we are.
We're going to be live streaming through Galaxy's Edge. We can probably live stream the fiasco that is getting a boarding pass, but don't show the barcode because then people can use the barcode. Maybe we'll live stream that fiasco as well so you can see it. I don't know, because I don't want to kind of take away our data when we're trying to get passes.
We don't want to waste our data on like Galaxy's Edge.
Maybe we can do it after we get the passes, if we get passes.
We'll see.
But we'll be live streaming for sure.
Try to ride it.
We're
going to
try to
ride it.
So.
All right, we'll talk later, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.